What's up, weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Universe of Weirdos. I am your host, Jay Kraft, your last chance to evacuate planet Earth before it is recycled. And about once a month, we like to do these. Read your feedback and questions. FAQ, baby. Fuck you! It's a lot of fun. I think a lot of you guys like reaching out to me with some of your random things, and most of it's positive. Most of the feedback that I get on this show is pretty positive. I do get the occasional somebody who wants to challenge me on something that I said. It's normally an opinion that I have, which I don't care. If you want to argue opinion, whatever. If you want to correct facts, that's one thing. If I get something wrong and you're like, no, you're objectively wrong, this is what the real fucking thing is, okay, that's valid, but I don't know. I get a lot of like, don't talk about this, instead talk about this. Like the whole fucking dummy who said to stop talking about the dumb shit I've been talking about and talk about Epstein files. I was like, get the fuck out of here. But I'm going to read some of your feedback, some of your questions. If you would like to get in on one of these episodes, there are many ways to do it. You can find me on Twitter, X, as they call it nowadays, JCraft247 over there. I am Universe of Weirdos on Instagram. I'm also Planet WNBA on Instagram. You can send me an email, planetwnba@gmail.com, or find me walking down the street and shout your question out of your car window. Whatever it is. Anyway, send me a text message if you have my personal number. If you don't have my personal number, some sort of Indian scam center out there has it, so get it from them. Those guys call me all the time. First of all, let's start with Jim. Jim's reacting to my Bracketeer episode, my crossover with Planet W, where I went over the women's NCAA March Madness bracket and picked which team would win based on which city sucks the most. And Jim from Rhode Island got a little bit annoyed that I put Rhode Island in the Final Four and said to me, LOL, you live in Indianapolis and call other cities lame. Ironic much? Not really. Not really, Jim, because it's called experience, brother. It's experience. You live in a place that sucks, so it's really easy to spot a place that sucks. We can smell our own, as they like to say. And also, get over yourself a little bit, Jim, because the winner of that one was Notre Dame, which is South Bend, Indiana, and I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I was, punching at myself just as much as I was punching at Rhode Island, so get over it. Fat people can still see if someone's fat, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a mess and still tell that somebody else is a mess. Like, drug addicts can recognize other drug addicts, you know what I'm saying? So it's all right. I don't have to be commenting on people's cities from a tropical paradise in order to have a valid opinion, sir. So, sorry, Jim. I'm sorry if I offended you, but I'm pretty sure he's a Planet W listener anyways. I don't think that he's a Universe of Weirdos person, but whatever. I have my own FAQ that I'm going to start with, other than Jim's weird shit that I just wanted to address there at the beginning. But Sean Jones, who does Nerd in Life with Sean Jones Jr., which is a podcast that you guys should check out on any of your podcast platforms. He is one of my best buddies in comedy, and I love Sean Jones quite a bit. He's going to be after me at our live show at Indianapolis PopCon on Friday, May 8th. I will be going on stage at 4 p.m., and at 5 p.m., Nerd in Life with Sean Jones Jr. comes on to do a live podcast at Indianapolis PopCon, so get your tickets if you can. And Sean's doing his own little FAQ episode, and I submitted him a question that I thought would fit his show very well, and I'm going to answer it here, because I kind of have a rule where if you're going to ask me a wacky question or a weird hypothetical, I would like for you to answer it yourself as well, just to give me an example and basically show me where your head was at when you decided to answer that question. Well, ask me that question. So I asked Sean, which 90s fat kid would you rather have as a friend, Donkey Lips or Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks? And I think your friend would have to be Goldberg. I just feel like Goldberg, he's athletic at least. He's got those chops going for him. He's got a high profile goalie career, and fucking the only thing that I remember from Donkey Lips was he like pushed some kid around in a wheelbarrow while that kid ate a bunch of bananas. That's the only thing that I can really remember about Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts. But no, I think Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks would be the better friend to have. Plus, he knows where you can score some really good drugs. So you gotta be happy about that one. Dan sent me this one in. Bro, Palm Beach Pete, tell me that motherfucker isn't Epstein just trolling us all. Um, Here's what I think. This is my conspiracy theory about Palm Beach Pete. Ready? I think this motherfucker realized that he looked like Jeffrey Epstein. I think people were telling him, bro, you kind of look like Jeffrey Epstein. So I think he concocted a plan to go viral as a dude who looks like Jeffrey Epstein, because I think that he's hedging his bets on some of this viral social media fame. And I think you're going to see him cashing in and try to be some sort of like, I don't know, Jeffrey Epstein impersonator or some shit like that. Like how they have the Michael Jackson dudes or the different Prince impersonators and shit. He's going to be a Jeffrey Epstein impersonator. I see that coming. That is on the horizon. Absolutely. Dave sent me this one, which is pretty fun. I recently got accepted for an apartment in a really nice, brand new apartment complex. The problem? My lease on my old place is up, and my new place won't be ready for almost 3 months. I have to move back in with my elderly mother until my new apartment is ready. I'm 36. How embarrassing is that? Have you ever had to move back in with your folks as an adult? No, I haven't. Um, but well, I guess that's not true. I guess I did. After college, I moved back in with my parents for a little bit, but it was a few months until I got a job and then moved in with some buddies and started being a degenerate again. But no, that's not embarrassing though. I don't find that embarrassing. Like you're 36 and you relied on somebody who gives a shit about you enough to let you live with them for 3 months. I don't think that that's really that embarrassing, dude. It's not like you failed or something at life and then had to move back in with your family all destitute because you had nowhere else to go. Like you fell on a really unique, hard time of not having a place to live temporarily, and your mother knows that you're worth a shit enough to not turn you away from staying with her for a little bit. She understands that you're at least a 36-year-old adult who's responsible enough to not fuck her over. Like, yeah, my son's not a piece of shit. So, yeah, you're probably not going to steal from me. You're probably not going to ruin my house. Yeah, I'll let you stay with me for 3 months. So, I don't know. I don't think that that's that embarrassing, man. But yeah, I did have to move back in with my parents a little bit in my 20s, but never. I always made it like a point, like from the time I was like 19. It was like, man, I don't want to live at home because it kind of hampers who I want to be as a person. Awkward. It was always awkward for me, but yeah, I understand that, but I don't think it's that embarrassing. Based on your situation anyways, I don't think it's all that embarrassing to have to move back in with your folks. There are people that have to move back in with their folks because they're skid row drug addicts or they got arrested and touched kids or some shit. So it's like you seem like you're doing pretty good there, Dave. You're in a nice new apartment complex in a couple months. Who gives a shit? Just don't bring chicks back to your mom's house for the next 3 months. Who cares? Sammy wants to know, what is your wife's name? You've literally never said her name every time she's been on. You just kept calling her your wife. She has a name, dude. Yes, she does, and you ain't gonna fucking know it. Her name is Woman McProperty. That's her name. Nah, I'm joking, obviously. That's just something that I don't know. That's one thing I'm pretty sure she doesn't want it out there, because my wife is one of those people where she doesn't like the social media all that much and all that good stuff. I mean, she is a very attractive woman. She is very beautiful, and that opens up for a lot of random dudes to go, "Hey, I saw your picture, therefore you must date me," and they send creepy messages, and that's just the nature of the internet. So I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that, but women don't like that shit. So that will cause a lot of them to avoid social media because they don't want to see the hey sweeties, hey honey, hey cutie messages that you guys send them every 3 to 4 days for 5, 6 years. Fucking creeps. Chris, hey bro, you good? You said you were sober, but you're out here getting toasted for your Heaven's Gate shows. What's up? I consider myself sober, yes, but I've never stopped smoking weed. Um, the the one addiction, I'm not addicted to weed. I have stopped smoking weed for a good solid year at a stretch before, just out of, not wanting to and all of that good stuff. But the one addiction I can say I've never been able to conquer is caffeine. And I know it sounds like I'm deflecting, but I'll get back to what you're saying, what your concern is. But caffeine is one thing I have never been able to kick. I used to smoke cigarettes. I was able to get rid of that. I used to do hard drugs. I was able to get rid of that. Fucking, I've never been a pill guy. Pills were never like my big thing, but like, I've done some decent drugs out there before in my life. I've been able to kick all of it. Alcohol gone. I don't do any alcohol at all. Like I used to not even do use mouthwash that had alcohol in it just because it was like, no, dude, I'm sober. But I never even considered stopping smoking weed because that's one thing that to me has never led to like anything worse. Like every other thing that I've done, every other vice that I've done has always led to worse things. Alcohol's always led to stupid decisions. The other powdery stuff has always led to really fucking unhinged behavior. And for me, smoking weed, I just, relax and then end up falling asleep about an hour after I smoke it. But I don't know, a nice gummy every now and then, keep a nice vape handy every now and then. It's not, it's nice. It just eases anxiety. But I guess I've never claimed to be like, super sober guy. I'm not like I can't be somebody's sponsor. I know that, but no, I am sober. I take a gummy every now and then when my kid goes to bed. I smoke a little blunt every now and then when the kid's in bed or taking a nap or whatever, or I want to get some good sleep. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. I would say I'm pretty good. No danger of a backslide. I really appreciate you reaching out and being concerned about my sobriety, but no, I just because I took a gummy or smoked a blunt while doing my Heaven's Gate review shows does not mean I'm going to be doing cocaine or smoking crack or anything like that. I have no desire to ever drink again. Although every now and then I will admit I at least want to smell a good whiskey. Like I'll see like a nice like new Johnny Walker that I haven't seen before, and I'm like, man, I wonder what that smells like. But I know that that's dangerous thinking. So, um, but no, alcohol's the only thing that's ever been at least a little bit difficult to stop. But I've been done with boozing for over 10 years now, so I haven't drank any alcohol in well over 10 years. So I'm pretty excited about that one. But yes, Chris, I am good, and that's what's up, to answer your question. BJ, thanks for turning me on to Ron and Fez. You are very welcome. I encourage everyone to go listen to old Ron and Fez episodes. They're great. I've been binging clips on YouTube, and I love it. My favorite clip so far is Fez calling a 4-year-old girl the C word. I do remember that one, and it's great. I've never been adult mad at a little kid before. Have you? And what are some of your other favorite Ron and Fez clips? I mentioned a few on the Ron and Fez replay that I just did. Look up some Nature Boy stuff and some of the other ones that I mentioned at the end of that one. But Midnight Rider, that saga, the Fez and Elfish, Go to Memphis saga. There's all kinds of good things on there. I don't know. There's There's a lot of good Ron and Fez bits, but have I ever been adult mad at a little kid before? I mean, not enough to like call a 4-year-old little girl the C word. No, I haven't. I haven't been that angry at a little kid, but I will say, like they tell you, like, because I was one of those people where I don't like kids. I don't like kids, and people always said that'll change when you have your own kid. You'll actually really start liking kids when you have your own kid. Eh, not really. I like my own kid. I love my own kid. My kid is fucking great and he's fun and I love hanging out with him and love having fun with him. Nothing he really does annoys me, but I still find other people's kids to be wicked fucking annoying. So I don't know what people say about that. Like, no, you'll get more tolerant. Nah, I still find other kids, like, there are things that other people's kids would do that I find annoying that if my kid did it, I'd probably find it cute. So I don't know how that one works, but no, I don't. I've never been like adult mad at a little kid before, though. No, I get annoyed. If anything, I get mad at their parents because it's like, get your shit together. Get your shit together and tell your kid to shut up. Tyler wants to know, were you a good student? You strike me as the type that never took school too seriously, but then again, you said you did go to college. So what do I know? I would say that you're spot on. I never took school seriously at all, even when I did go to college. I treated it just like any other aspect of the carnival of life where I was working an angle and trying to find the rube that I can exploit and try to figure out how I can skate through with the least and most minimal amount of effort that I could put in. D's get degrees, brother. So take the path least traveled or whatever, the path of least resistance. I don't know. Honestly, dude, I don't ever remember doing a shred of homework in high school. I don't think that I ever did a single bit of homework at all. If you couldn't squeeze that shit into this 8 hours that I'm already here, I ain't doing that shit at home. I have fucking friends that I want to hang out with, drugs that I want to do that I'm going to eventually have to quit to answer Chris back there. And like I never thought that school was something that I needed to take seriously. I thought it was something that I had to do. I thought that it was something that I needed to make it through and had to take seriously enough to actually like graduate and shit. But at the end of the day, I never took it seriously. And yes, I did go to college. Basically, I went to college to just learn how to do certain things. I wasn't trying to pursue a degree or like and then I'll get this internship and then I'll do this. Basically, I was like, nah, I want to go to college because I want them to show me how to use all this high-end broadcasting equipment. I want to learn how they make these types of shows. I want to know how they make these types of radio shows. I want to know how they make newspapers because that was still a thing. I just basically wanted to know every aspect of like broadcasting and publishing, and I wanted to learn that stuff hands-on. I wasn't trying to like, this school has a really good program for this. It's like, no, fuck it. Do they have the equipment that I can work on and get hands-on experience with? If that's the case, then I'll go there. And if it's in a place that's cool, even better. So, no, I never took school all that seriously. And yes, I did go to college. So, speaking on wrestling, this is from Benny. I have a hot take for you. I actually like Logan Paul in the WWE. Do you think people judge dudes like the Paul brothers too harshly? These types of guys are always called douches without people ever mentioning how young they are. Do you think that's fair? What would your public image be if you were a famous millionaire in your early 20s? Yeah, it'd be pretty polarizing. I would absolutely be pretty polarizing if I were a millionaire in my 20s. I would be the douchebag like the Paul brothers that everybody hates, and then I would probably not have the self-awareness to go, I don't know what everybody's fucking problem is. I think I'm pretty fucking dope. And then they're like, well, that's the problem, is that you think that you're pretty fucking dope instead of letting other people think that you're pretty fucking dope. But do I think it's fair that people judge them? Do I think people judge them too harshly? I would say yes and no. My initial reaction would be no, that they don't, because they do have a public image, and their public image is that, WWE wrestling heel in real life type of guy. I want to be the polarizing figure that either douchebags like me or regular people fucking hate me, but regardless, people are talking about me. So it's the Howard Stern from the 90s effect, where it was like the people that like me, they talk about me a lot. The people that hate me talk about me even more. So it's like a fucking win, 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 win everywhere I turn. And so I get what they're doing. They're being douchebags on purpose so people will talk about them. And, douchebags who think like them will like them and defend them. And then other people will go, fuck these guys. I hate these guys. And regardless, they're getting those engagements that they're looking for. So, do I think that's fair? Yeah, again, yes and no. I mean, you are right. Nobody does take their age into consideration. It's the same thing with sports stars too. When people are like, "Can you believe this idiot out here?" Like John Morant from the NBA is one of them, where he's out flashing guns on social media and shit, and people are like, "Can you believe this idiot?" And you're like, "Well, yeah, because he's in his 20s. Like I can believe that idiot because I was an idiot in my 20s too, where I would do the same shit if I were somebody who grew up in like gun culture and liking guns and shit. Now I'm a millionaire. I'd have all these fucking diamond encrusted guns that I'd be showing off to everybody. Look at my fucking diamond gun, motherfucker. I'd be doing the same shit. So I do think that they're judged too harshly in that regard because I do think that you're right. People don't like reflect themselves in it, but they're judging them on a base level. So I think that is fair. And when the base level is I'm a douchebag, look at how big of a cock that I am. Like my boxing career is built mainly on people wanting to watch me get knocked out and hoping that I get knocked out. And that's what most of my audience is. I think that you deserve that. I think that you deserve that kind of public image based on what how people view you and how you put yourself out there. So I think that they brought it on themselves. So I do think that it's fair. But yes, I would be the exact same way in my 20s if I were a multimillionaire as well. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I personally don't like the guys. I think that they're both douchebags. I think that Jake Paul is a fucking joke boxer and Logan Paul's a dumbass douchebag, and I think I've seen him wrestle a couple times. I mean, he might be pretty good at it. I haven't paid much attention, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't think too much about them, but I appreciate the question. Brantley sent me this. Brantley is a new listener, which I appreciate very, very much. Be sure to subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. And if you have a couple other podcast platforms, subscribe on that one too. Let's get them numbers up. Fuck it. We'll cheat. I don't give a fuck. Lie, cheat, and steal. Get us to the top, baby. I don't give a fuck. We're like the Paul brothers of podcasting. No, we're not. We're certainly not. But Brantley wants to know, what is the mythology / lore behind Universal Weirdos? I think you meant Universe of Weirdos, but you might have also been using voice to text, so I'll forgive that. I am a new subscriber. I've listened to 6 episodes, and I'm hooked. Well, I appreciate you. Welcome aboard the mothership. I appreciate you. I lost it when you said you would lie. Okay. I lost it when you said you would lie to a time traveler. I don't know. When did I say that? Oh, if a time traveler came back and tried to interview me, I said I would lie to him, tell him some bullshit on purpose. Okay. I do think I'm missing some of the inside jokes, though. The Last Chance thing, Planet W, and mentions of space-time travel. What am I missing here? Can you fill us newbies in on the inside jokes? Are you going to have any kind of merch available anytime soon? By the way, I think it sucks when your oldest friends become your meanest critics. Yeah, I understand. Well, let's see. What is the lore / mythology behind UniverseOfWeirdos? Well, I mean, I'll give you the I'm heavy into protecting kayfabe. This whole show is pro wrestling. It started out as wrestling with criminals, and I've decided when I made this podcast, this whole podcast, even when I switched over from just wrestling with criminals to doing every aspect of weird life, I decided that this whole podcast was going to be pro wrestling, where everything was going to be like a work or a shoot, or it was going to be fun, or whatever it was going to be. It was just going to be some sort of experience that you can just enjoy and take with you for what it is and accept it for what it is instead of looking into it and going, oh, you said this once and you said this once. Just accept everything for the way you hear it because it's more fun that way. So we are on the mothership, fucking broadcasting to you from the stratosphere. We are outside of Earth's orbit, just combing this whole universe of weirdos existing in the space-time, outside of your traditional space-time continuum, trying to find the weirdest aspects of life that have existed throughout the history of human beings and human existence. Just weird things in general, weird people, weird situations. That's what we like to cover. Let's see some of the inside jokes. The last chance to evacuate planet Earth. The last chance to evacuate planet Earth before it is recycled. That was the catchphrase of the Heaven's Gate cult, which I am also currently reviewing on this show. You might have heard some of those initiation tape reaction videos. I've been working my way through the Heaven's Gate initiation tape, and that was their little catchphrase, we're your last chance to evacuate planet Earth before it is recycled. And since we're the Universe of Weirdos, I thought that it fit. I thought that it's fun. Planet W is my WNBA podcast that I do with my brother. That is the planet that I live in the summertime when women's basketball is going on. I am a Indiana Fever season ticket holder, so me and my brother are there cheering for Caitlin Clark and gang every WNBA Fever game, I suppose. And mentions of space-time travel. Yeah, I like to get into our time machine every now and then. We like to go back and listen to PSAs, like public service announcements from like the 50s and the 30s and all kinds of stuff. We've listened to old radio broadcasts on here before and reacted to them. It's just a way of showing that the world's always been a weird place to live in, and it's always been fun. And now that the internet exists, kind of all of this stuff exists all at the same time. So we're the only podcast to exist outside of your traditional space-time continuum, and it's just all about fun. We sometimes pick up broadcasts from the Satellite of Love, where we review some Ron and Fez, but for the most part, we just like to explore this wonderful universe of weirdos and just kind of try to figure out the weird shit. We've gone through origins of different phrases. We've gone through origins of celebrity, urban myths, and just all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Just keep listening, man. Keep listening to the old episodes because we're going to keep giving them to you. And let's see, am I going to have any merch anytime soon? Yes. And as a matter of fact, I have already sent you a reply to this email where if you send me your address, I'll send you a couple stickers because I have made a few for our live show that we will be doing on May 8th, which is a Friday at Indianapolis PopCon live at the Indiana Convention Center. We're going to be there opening up for Nerd in Life with Sean Jones Jr. You can either think of him like the headlining act and I'm the feature, or you can think of me of like kind of like the Jay Leno and he's Conan or whatever. You know, I'm his lead in, or however you want to think about it. Just, come out for both. Block off those 2 hours and come and hang out with me and Sean Jones on May 8th. But I don't know, is there anything else that I'm missing? I don't know. I don't know if there's any sort of inside jokes. I've just kind of wanted all of the inside jokes and things to kind of grow organically. I haven't been really forcing any of the inside jokes. Like the last chance to evacuate planet Earth thing, that just kind of came up as it just felt fun to repeat every now and then. So I personally, I just kind of let these little bits grow. But we do have an AI producer. I do this whole thing myself, completely by myself, but every now and then I do have some allergy issues. Transitions in weather get to me quite a bit, but I still like to bring you 2 podcasts a week. So I have an AI assistant that I have designated Squeak McBeak is his name. He is a fantasy steampunk owl producer that I have. I have an image of him that I will post as the promo for this episode. His name is Squeak McBeak, and he is our AI producer, and he suggests to me topics to talk about when I am feeling under the weather and don't feel like putting the energy into my prepared material. So I don't know if there's anything else, man. I might have missed something, but if there is anything else, maybe somebody else can fill us in. Shoot me a Twitter/X message and let me know what's going on. I am JCraft247 on there. You can find me on Instagram, UniverseOfWeirdos. I am also Planet WNBA on Instagram. Subscribe to my other podcast, Planet W, a WNBA podcast. I am about to get into some really heavy WNBA mode for this summer because it's really ramping up, and me and my brother are going to have a lot to cover on that show. It's going to keep me pretty busy. So I have a big summer ahead of me, a lot of stuff going on, but I will not be neglecting the Universe of Weirdos. Oh no, I will not. This is still my new number 1 priority in all of podcasting is Universe of Weirdos. Planet W, we've kind of established our fan base there. You know, there's room for growth, but it's a very niche podcast. WNBA talk. I think more people want to listen to weirdos. There's a lot more people out there that want to listen to weirdos. So I'm focused on making this one grow, making this one work, making this one great. And I think that we're doing an all right job at it. We're doing good. We're picking up new listeners every day. And I would appreciate it if you'd spread the word and you would like, share, subscribe on all of your podcast platforms. Let your friends know that the Universe of Weirdos is out there and we're ready to entertain and we're ready to have a great time and explore this wonderful, wonderful world and all of the weird sons of bitches that are in it. But I will see you next time. I'm back with my wife next time. We're going to go over a true crime thing. I have a true crime thing that's pretty specific, but I don't want to give any details because it takes the fun out of it. But I will see you then. I love you very much. See ya.